was officially diagnosed on the 9th of July 2010. My reaction was utter devastation. I really didn't know much about mesothelioma, what it actually was. Just devastation. All I could think about was, I have a husband, I have 2 children, and I'm not going to see them, I'm not going to be a grandmother, I'm not going to see them grow up. Just utter devastation and just not knowing what to do. My family, I think, were the same as me, utterly shocked. I rang my husband at work, but I don't know what I said to him. I probably just blurted out something. Look, I think we were all very, very shocked. But, again, they've been really supportive and, you can't do it without support. It initially started out as a cold. I didn't think anything else. I just thought I had a cold. If there were symptoms there, I didn't pick them up. I didn't notice them. So I went to the doctor. She said, your chest sounds a bit funny, go and get an x-ray. So I went and got an x-ray, got home, picked up the phone on the 101 message, and there was a message to get up to emergency immediately, which obviously we did. Went to emergency, had no idea why I was there, and they ended up draining 4.5 litres of fluid off my lung. They then put me into the Bendigo base just to find out what was wrong. We just got back from overseas, so at first they thought I might have picked up some sort of infection overseas, so I was on a drip with antibiotics for about a week. They did a heap of tests on me. They couldn't find anything. There was no cancer markers as such. During that time they drained off another litre of fluid off my lung. When they discharged me from hospital, there was still fluid on the lung, but it gets to a stage where they can't drain it off anymore. They scrape out the lung, they drain the lung. So I went and had that done, and while I was having that done, they took a biopsy and it came back as lung cancer. I can't actually pinpoint a time when I was exposed to asbestos. I mean, every army barrack has asbestos in it. I mean, it's everywhere, you can't really pinpoint it. I was so shocked when they said that I had, an asbestos disease. It was the last thing I thought of. It was certainly shocked all the doctors. It was the last thing they expected to find as well. Well, obviously, having mesothelioma was a huge shock. After being diagnosed, I saw the surgeon who operated probably a week later to see, what to do. He suggested, his statement was if he had this disease, he would go to these particular people. So we went down and saw Simon, and we had a meeting with him. He sort of pretty much laid it on the line. You could be dead in 9 months, or you could live for years. What did you want to do? Did you want to, go for broke? Obviously, we wanted to go for broke. So the next appointment was to meet up with the team at the Austin Hospital. On August the 13th, we started the chemotherapy, and it was organised through the Austin, but we actually did it in Bendigo. So there was 6 rounds of chemotherapy. So it was 1 round every 3 weeks, and that went for about 6.5 hours each time. That finished up in late November. Then had a break of about 8 weeks and went down to Melbourne and had all the lung lining removed. Then had another 8-week break and started radiotherapy at the Austin Repat, and that was every day for 28 days, and it would go for about 45 minutes. My husband looked after me during my treatment. The chemotherapy, obviously, it hits you a little bit harder each time. Most of the time I was home by myself. The last few sessions of chemo really knocked me, and Jim ended up taking 1 or 2 days off each time, just at my lowest until I picked up again. Look, you know, family, friends, and just not letting, you know, this is not going to beat me. I've got too many things I want to do to, you know, to let it beat you. But, you know, it does get depressing sometimes, and, you know, I've cried more than I've ever cried in my life, but, you know, at the end of the day, that's not going to help. I'm going to get there, you know. I can defy the odds here. I worked the whole time during the treatment, so I'd have a week and a half off for the chemo, and then I'd go back to work. I'd work between the chemo and the op. After the op, I was back at work a couple of weeks later, and the same with the radiation. I stopped for the 6 weeks of the radiation because we had to travel to Melbourne every day, but then I went straight back to work. And you know, it sounds a bit strange, but it's actually got me through. I like work, so it actually got me through. Working in defence, they provided a lot of support. We have a psychologist who works with us, so I actually went and spoke to her. But, you know, you get so much support from so many people. You know, your family, you can't do it without your family and your friends. And just workmates, everyone was really, really supportive. Actually, it was really overwhelming, the amount of support you got. If I didn't feel well, I knew I could just get up and come home. So that was great, knowing that, you know, you had that support, and, you know, it was really good. I really enjoy work. I enjoy what I do, and I enjoy the people I work with. And at the end of the day, it takes your mind off things.
Yeah, I've got some really, really close friends. I'm normally pretty good anyway. I'm pretty sort of laid back, so yeah, I get through it sort of by myself anyway. But yeah, you never know what the future is. It makes you think about your own mortality and your kids and what's going to go on in the future, because the future is unknown. And you don't think about that until there's a major event in your life, and obviously that was a major event in our life. My message to other carers is just to be there, to listen, find out as much as you can about what's going on, because the patient themselves, when they go to appointments, their mind's racing, they tend to thinking about what's going on and what's not going on, and is it going well, and you need somebody else there to take everything in. And that way, that when you come away, you've got a clear idea of what is actually going on, and because if you do it by yourself, then obviously your mind's in a bit of a blur.
To recover from it, I'm still not fully recovered. I'm 100% to what I was at Christmas time. But it's still a journey. Still haven't got as much energy as I used to have, but it's slowly getting better. And I see my specialist every 3 months, and I might have a CAT scan or a PET scan during that time, and he just monitors my process. I'm actually not taking any medication as such, and haven't since I finished the radiation, actually. So no treatment at all. Very rarely even take a Panadol. At the moment, life is getting pretty much back to normal. I did develop a cough from radiation. I finished radiation treatment about 18 months ago. I still have a slight cough, but a lot better than what it was. I think it just makes you appreciate life more. Life's precious, and you've got to enjoy every moment, and just let go of the petty things and just get on with it.